Um, hey guys, Ulysses Zelki here, and today I wanted to quickly talk about this big issue that's been happening with Fujifilm X100F's. Fuck. Shut up, Siri! No. So I wanted to talk about this promotional video that kind of is blowing up in a bad way from Fujifilm's X100V. This is a big issue that's happening in Japan right now in the street photography community. And now we even have an article by Petapixel. So Petapixel's article is Fujifilm pulls X100V promo video after backlash over photog's shooting style. Fujifilm found itself in the middle of a heated debate about ethics in street photography yesterday when one of the promo videos it released for the Fuji X100V sparked outrage among a certain segment of the company's fans on YouTube. The video has since been taken down. Blah 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 blah. According to Fuji Rumors, another site, my milestone video featuring street photographer Tatsuo Suzuki has been removed ostensibly because of a negative reaction from commenters who felt Suzuki's photographic style was too intrusive, even offensive. Fuji found itself right in the middle of this debate after releasing the Tatsuo Suzuki promo, which could be interpreted as condoning this shooting style, and though you may or may not agree with how the company chose to handle it, i.e. taking down the video, it's a debate worth having and one that photographers should be part of. So here's what actually happened. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, but here's what happened. So Fujifilm posted that video, promotional video on YouTube, and then that had a lot of backlash, like a lot of negative comments, so they actually took the video down without any hesitation, very quickly. And they took the website down too. And also Tatsuo Suzuki's Twitter page and his tweets around his own promotional video have been has a bunch of negative comments on it too. And there's this really big tweet that's kind of blowing up right now. It's a different photographer. I think he's like a cosplay photographer or something. And he was he was saying negative things about the photographer. And there's a couple things that I want to clear out. One thing is that I think this was a shitty move by Fuji. Okay, so here's the thing. Sorry, I do consulting out of my photography work. I do consulting. I do some management consulting as a job. And the thing is, I know that for a company as big as Fuji, you need to have a lot of internal processes in order to get that video out. Like there needs to be some kind of general plan, there needs to be some kind of acceptance phase, there needs to be some kind of contract, and everyone knows, I mean, at least the people that are involved know how Tatsuo Suzuki shoots photography. And that's the direction they wanted to head towards. And the people that are involved, at least to some level, understood what they're getting into. And also that's what they wanted to go for, right? Like that's street photography is what they're going for with the X100 series and even the X Pro series, right? And when they received backlash, and when the photographer that they were trying to promote received backlash, they backed down. That's pretty shitty, I think. And now, because the barrier of the video doesn't exist, the barrier of a company, big corporation, hiring this amazing photographer as their promo, that barrier doesn't exist. Now everyone just goes directly to the photographer and says, oh, what you're doing is shitty. Like, if people comment on... There's a difference between people commenting on a YouTube video of Tatsuo Suzuki and people commenting on Tatsuo Suzuki's Twitter. Like, if a person comments on a YouTube video that promotes Tatsuo Suzuki done by Fujifilm and says, oh, this is shitty. It can mean a couple things. It can mean that, oh, as a company, why are you endorsing this? But when people go to Tatsuo Suzuki's Twitter account and say, oh, you're a shitty person, you suck, you look like a pervert, and these are, I'm not even paraphrasing here, these are literally tweets that I read, then you're directly attacking that person, that photographer, and that photographer, I mean, is a person. Okay, the second point I wanted to raise was that Fujifilm is a company that is trying to endorse street photography. They're one of the only companies recently that has been trying to do this with the x100 series as an icon, and also the X Pro series, and even the XT series and their other cameras. They have really, I think, compared to other camera makers, they have really tried to innovate or recreate not even technology, but cameras, so that candid photographers and snap shooters and street photographers, whatever you want to call yourselves, myself, I don't know, want to use and what we want. Has Canon and Nikon and Sony and those, you know, more mainstream camera makers, have they been listening to what we want? Not really. Like, they're amazing cameras, but in terms of specs, but in terms of usability and then how we want things, like, do we want like an optic viewfinder, or do we want more manual controls, or like easy access to manual controls and good color science? I mean, natural color science, that's not what they're going for. Like, but Fuji's been really trying to keep up with that stuff. Yeah, and that's something that I definitely respect a lot, because there's not many companies that are doing that. Ricoh with their GR, and Leica has been doing it for ages, but that's probably it, I think. Let me know if I'm wrong. So yeah, does this... So again, going back to the second point is, does this affect Fujifilm's decision-making going forward? Like, it's such a... So the thing about street photography or candid photography is there's such a thin line between what's right and what's wrong. When people watch Tatsuo Suzuki shooting on the streets, and then people say, oh, this isn't right, then, you know, in a way, they're right too. I mean, there's so many different opinions and so many different ways of interpreting this that there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, there's obviously stupid opinions here and there, but yeah, it's hard to fight, you know. So, in that sense, like, this will definitely sway Fujifilm's opinion going forward, like how, like how they innovate cameras and what they promote, right? So point number 3 is how this is going to affect candid photographers going forward. So this move that they made was definitely, it was kind of a power move, and I respect the initial direction they're heading towards, is that they were hiring a photographer that is very distinct in his way of shooting, and shooting candid stuff. It's a very gray zone, but they tried to make the leap and, you know, show what amazing photography there is outside of this bubble of nature and photography and portrait photography, which is always what's being promoted by these camera companies. And they tried, but now you have the majority of the Japanese population hating on this video, not only this video, but even the photographer, the candid photographer that was in this video. And also candid photographers, we don't have many opportunities. I'll be brutally honest, there's not many opportunities for us. Like, one, we don't live off of gigs, we're not commercial photographers. Some are, that's great, but candid photography isn't something that pays off. Like, companies don't pay for people to shoot candid stuff. There we go. So the way candid photographers make some kind of living is obviously, you know, things like prints and teaching people and whatnot, but also, you know, working with camera companies, because candid photographers are generally not generally, but some of them are really insanely good photographers, and they really deserve the spotlight. They really deserve some spotlight because they're great photographers. And this is something that I've felt a lot, is that there's so many amazing candid photographers out there, and they really lack the respect they should be receiving. Like, they're all like, there's a bunch of hidden bosses, and that's, and I'll be brutally honest, and that's all some of them are gonna be. And that's very brutal. That's terrible. If they're good, but the thing with this is that I wouldn't want to say puts an end to that movement, but it is a definite downside to that movement. So maybe going forward, Fuji, I don't know, may possibly even drop street photography Fuji ambassadors in the future, or they just may not even hire people and give candid photographers any opportunities going forward. Like, this is pretty bad, because they've been a good promoter for candid photographers. It's terrible. It's bad news for everyone. It's bad news for me. So yeah, just, I don't know, just this whole situation has been kind of shitty, I think. And I've had mixed feelings, because there's so many stupid people online. I don't know, swimming through all that bullshit and trying to form an opinion that's non-biased, because I'm a candid photographer too, and I know Tatsuo-san, and we talk frequently. Not frequently, but we talk sometimes, and I get along with him. Yeah, it just sucks. I don't know, the whole thing just sucks. It sucks for everyone. And no one's winning, if you're a photographer. I don't know, to be honest, I really don't know what to say at this point. It's certain that yesterday was a bad day for street photographers, or passionate street photographers. Yeah. And the stuff that I'm reading online is pretty bad. So there you go. That was my video. Just me talking about a terrible situation. Oopsie. Let me know you guys' opinion on this. And you know what? Hit a like on this video if you want. But you know what? What's more important is, if you like Tatsuo Suzuki's work, go check him out. And go support him, because he might need some support now. If I was in his shoes, I would really need some mental support. Because for him, street photography, candid stuff is his life. That's his life. And that's his passion. And now, basically the whole country is just shitting on him. And he has so many enemies now, but now he has to live with that, because that's the life he chose. And if I was him, that would be a pretty shitty day. So you know what? Go to his Instagram, go to whatever the fuck, I don't care, his Twitter, email him, buy his prints, say you rock, and go support my friend. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. I'll be honest, I don't really know how to close these videos. Do I have to do this shit all the time? I don't want to do this all the time. Bye!